is Letitia Rust, and I am the director of our CyROC Center, which is the Cybersecurity Research and Outreach Center. So we are so ecstatic that everyone is here. This is a great turnout, and we are so appreciative of all the support. So let's begin. Does everybody know what cybersecurity is, right? Cybersecurity is the protection of valuable information from things, threats on the internet. So everybody is really in the need of cybersecurity and understanding what that is, because everyone has something on the internet, right? So the other great thing about cybersecurity is everybody knows that it is somewhat technical, right? Well, cybersecurity is only 20% technology and 80% human interaction. So that's a really big incentive, right, for cybersecurity awareness and teaching. So this space right here is going to be really important in teaching our not only current students, our future students, and our community about cybersecurity and the things that are up and coming with all threats. So without the support of everyone in this room, including Senator Moran, we would not have this great space. Our CyROC would not exist. And so we have a lot of people that we want to thank for that today, especially our ESU facilities. They were instrumental in getting this space ready, contracting those great outside contractors such as Kofelt Sign that did this great wall, and also our Mitchell Markowitz, who did majority of the installation of the windows and some of the minor construction. We also want to thank Enterprise KC for being here. They were also instrumental in getting us information to apply for our grant, so we are super glad that they are here today. Also want to thank our faculty and administrators. Without your foresight and to know exactly what we need for cybersecurity and knowing that we have that need, we wouldn't also be here today for that as well. So thank you to our faculty in creating the interest in cybersecurity, because with that interest and with our new space, we are also going to add a third line of a computer science instructor for cybersecurity. So that's great. Another thing that I would like to, another group I would like to say thank you to, which I can't say thank you enough, and that is to our ESU IT team. If it wasn't for our IT individuals with their expertise and their knowledge and their patience with me to be able to build this great space, we would not have this. The ability for them to create all of this, to do the wiring, to put together the racks, coordinate with Dell to be able to bring them in is just astronomical. So thank you to our entire ESU IT team. Without you guys, this would not be successful. The other person that I would like to thank is also Dean Bashaw. Dean Bashaw, thank you so much for allowing me to be the director of this great space and to have the knowledge and to learn about cybersecurity and have this endeavor so that we can create a great regionally known cybersecurity center that is going to be important for all of our community, our future students, and our current students. So thank you very much, Dean Bashaw. So would you like to come up and say some things?
I think I would.
All right, very good.
Okay.
All yours.
All right, thank you. Letitia, thanks for those remarks. You know, I would like to also add my thanks, my gratitude and appreciation for all the groups that Letitia has thanked. She's done an excellent job of starting us off. We started off with really just kind of an idea that we had been building on to try to come up with some sort of a grant that could do this. And it's nice to see it all come together. And I want to thank each of you for being here and letting me say it's a great day to be a cyber hornet. That's a new term, isn't it? A cyber hornet. So normally we're the biz hornets in the School of Business, but now we're the cyber hornets as well. So that's good. You know, I'm thinking about when this all started, and I think we had fortunately had some advanced grants that we had been writing to try to come up with something like this, and we got notice that a certain senator would be interested in something. What are you doing in cybersecurity? So we pulled some of the old grants that we had written, and we put them together, and we in a fairly short amount of time, and lo and behold, the senator thought there might be some interest in that. That he thought that there could be some resources that the federal government could provide to rural Kansas to make something happen in cybersecurity. And I'll never forget, you know, so the senator came to the president's office in the conference room, and we sat down, and you know, I'm just a country boy from West Texas, and I'm not used to rubbing elbows with a United States senator
From Plainville, Kansas.
from Plainville, Kansas. So we're in the office, and we're all chatting and happy and smiling, and all of a sudden he had a little bit more sterner look on his face, and he leaned across the desk and said, "Dean, is this sustainable?" So I looked to my right, and our president who's not the president now, was there. And I looked to my left, and the provost, who is not the provost now, was there. And I said, yes, it is. And I looked at them, and they did the logical thing, and that's nod. Okay, yes, this is the time we're supposed to say yes. But that's a little intimidating. Okay, so we have taken that to heart. And so I mentioned that the president, we actually have a new president. President Hush is here. I want to thank him because he took that is it sustainable to heart, and ran us through. When I say us, I mean me, but through the ringer to make sure that this was going to be a good fit. That this was not going to be something that was going to be, because it was a 1-year grant, very generous grant, but it was 1 year. So we looked and decided that we thought it would be able to be sustainable. But he took a risk on that because he committed to university funds that after the initial funds run out, we're going to support that at the university level because we think it's something to do. So President Hush, thank you very much for your contribution to this. The next person I want to thank is Corey Faldine. I think he's out in the hall. Maybe he's getting something to drink or eat, I don't know, but he's out there somewhere. So then President Hush looks at Corey, and because Corey was our CIO, now he's the equivalent, he's a executive vice president now and the equivalent of our chief operating officer in charge of the structures that you see here. He asked Corey, well, do you think this cybersecurity thing will be a deal? Is that something that we can build on? Do we have some of the resources that we're going to be able to do that? And Corey, thank you. You said yes and committed to that, and so we're still working on that to move from where we are here to make it a bigger deal. That's going to be the public-private partnerships. That's what's going to build the sustainability on that. So Corey, thank you. Greg Snyder, where are you? There he is. He's in the hall. So the next person that President Hush looked at was Greg. He's our government relations person. That's code for lobbyists for the university. Does a really good job for us. And so President Hush asked Greg, well, do you think there'd be some resources and some money out there? And, we talked about that. There would be some private money available, but he thought, there may be some money from the state legislature for that. And so, lo and behold, based on these, nothing factual at this point, on best case scenario, worst case scenario, and expected results, our expected result was that, yes, there's going to be the demand for that. Yes, we have the resources in place for that. Yes, we think there's more that we can get. So we went ahead and went forward with that. And then this last legislative session, we were able to receive generous funding from the state on an ongoing basis. And so, Greg Snyder, thank you very much. the last person I want to thank is the person that started it all, right? That's Senator Moran. We all know him as a good guy, a generous guy who comes back to the state often, and people know who, they usually call you Jerry. So I'm not going to call you that, but they do. What I'll call you is the senior senator from the great state of Kansas. Would you like to say a few remarks?
Only my wife knows what people actually call me because she looks at Facebook and I don't. I am delighted to be here and to celebrate with Emporia State and the community another development at Emporia State University. I'm very sympathetic and appreciative and supportive of our regional universities in Kansas, and recognize that every university has its role to play, but we never want to forget places like Emporia State and what it means not only to the region but to our state, and ultimately in this case to our nation. And I'll explain that in just a second. But I'm wearing my Emporia State tie or my Fort Hays tie, whichever of those prefer. But this is a great development, and I'm pleased to know that it's sustainable, and we know that it's only sustainable because people in this room decided to make it that be the case. So, President, thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. Dean, thank you very much for the conversation we had in looking for ways that I could be helpful to Emporia State and the country at the same time, and to be here to celebrate this occasion. There are huge opportunities for our students in this arena. The demand for those who are educated and trained in cybersecurity, it could be in a specific business, but elsewhere as well. The Kansas City Enterprise KC, which is a tech organization in Kansas City, their numbers say that there are 3,600 cybersecurity jobs open in Kansas now, and that's $350 million in unrealized annual income. So the demand is there, and we saw that several years ago and tried to figure out how could we help Kansas fill the needs, and hopefully fill the needs in a way that our students get trained and educated here and remain in our state. And so not only have we attempted to provide, it's not my money, and it's nice for the dean to say I'm generous, these are taxpayer dollars, they're not really federal dollars, they're paid for by Kansans and American across the country, and we want to make certain if we're going to designate certain spending in certain places, that the outcome is something that is an investment that has a significant return. And I don't think we have to go very far in looking even across our state and see how much there is a need for cybersecurity. Ask Kansas State University after yesterday, or the courts of Kansas, the Supreme Court of Kansas a month ago. We are not immune from the problems of cybersecurity, so solving these problems, protecting ourselves, Emporia State can now play a significant role in protecting Kansans. And at the same time, we've worked to encourage businesses to locate in our state. And it's one after another. Nomadics, it is A1 Torch in Kansas City, Nomadics in Wichita. Our cyber companies, that Millennium came here to work with the cyber team at McConnell Air Force Base, our National Guard, the 184th Division, to work on cybersecurity issues. And so they only can come and succeed if this program and programs like this succeed. And then at the same time, we're creating job opportunities for Emporia State students, Kansans and others, who then have an opportunity to remain as part of our state. So this is just a moment to tell you this is a really good thing, and I'm pleased to see the way that it's developing. Finally, just to put it in the national perspective, our country faces significant risks today. One of my new committee assignments at the beginning of this year is I'm a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, which there may be those of you who are shaking your head at that suggestion, but it's a committee that meets twice a week, 3 or 4 hours at a time, being briefed by our national security agencies on what's going on in the world that affects the United States of America. And our adversaries know that one of the ways that they can create great damage before their other adversarial activities begin is to diminish the United States' capability through a cyber attack. Could be something as nothing as simple in this, as something could be something as civilian as the gas pumps no longer work, or you can't get a withdrawal from your bank. But it's also that the satellites no longer communicate with the commanders in the field with the capability of directing our military activity. So this is hugely important to the country. We are not at the forefront of these issues, and our nation has to be for our well-being. And then our country can only be safe and secure with a strong economy, and that involves protecting ourselves from cyber attacks as well. So this is a win-win, and it's great to be a cyber hornet. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. What I'd like to be able to do is invite you to, I think when you came off the elevator, you saw certain